All right, what's up? This is episode 8 of Release Rotation. I'm your host, John W. Snyder. Thank you for listening. If you are listening, I appreciate it. I know not really anybody is listening to this, so again, it's for me trying to figure out what I want to do. And I also, I'll get into it in a few minutes or a minute. These are always short, under 5 minutes. Hope to make them quick and easy for you. Partly because I'm not preparing for these and I don't have much time when I do them. That's why they're really short. But I'm trying to narrow down the 3 things I want to talk about each and every episode. And right now, the 3 things that I'm leaning towards is comedy, life, and sports. And so it's kind of what I want to do, and we'll see where it goes, right? Those are 3 of my passions. It'll probably be life, comedy, sports, in that order. I don't know. Again, I'll play around with it and see what happens. Sorry. But I love those 3 things. When it comes to comedy, I love to laugh. I love reading about comedians and watching comedians and funny movies, funny TV shows. I prefer any of that over serious drama stuff because life is serious enough as it is. And so it might be an outlet for me, I don't know, but that's one reason I love comedy and why I'm going to talk about it. The other's, life. My life, I might not get into too much details about my life, maybe down the road. But, my family, my wife and kids, so important. But also when I say life, I mean like what I'm doing in life and what you're doing in life and what you want to do and where I want to be 10 years from now, where you want to be 10 years from now. That's the life portion. The life part is getting down to that. And that, I think, is going to come with interviews also, hopefully. And just to hear other people's stories because this is, as much as I say it is for me, but I want you to get value out of it too. And if I'm just talking about me, myself, and I, and whatever else, then when it comes to me, you're not going to get any value and you probably won't listen. And so I want to create this podcast for you, the listener. And that's my goal after a year. And, hopefully before a year, but I don't want it to take longer than a year. Like, I want to figure out how to nail this. And so that'll be some of the life stuff. And then sports, like I've talked about, NBA, Thunder, Oklahoma State University. And then I'll get into, once NCAA football starts, basketball. And then I'll definitely be talking about some NBA playoffs here coming up soon. Still hilarious that Oklahoma City got a 4th seed in the West, home court advantage in the first round. That's huge for the Thunder. So, but let's get down to it. So, comedy, life, sports, right? So, with comedy, I guess it was a sad day for, it's a sad day for the comedy world. And so what I mean by that and what I'm trying to say is today, Mitzi Shore passed away. And, she is the founder of the Comedy Store. And I didn't actually know that she was Pauly Shore's mom. And so I know comedians, Pauly Shore won't ever listen to this, but what an incredible legacy your mom left and what she did for comedy and comedians. As close as I live to LA, I still have not been to the Comedy Store, but I always see comedians tweeting about it, talking about it, and whatever that might be. So she had a huge impact in comedy in LA, and so I know the Comedy Store will go on and comedy and life goes on, but just just a sad day for comedy. And I got to get to the Comedy Store now. With life, the reason I started this podcast, another reason I started it is because I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to be 58, 20 years from now and think back, oh man, I wish I would have started that podcast 20 years ago. And I get it, everyone's doing a podcast now, and that's fine. Anchor makes it easy. And I get it, that's fine, Everyone and their dog's doing a podcast, and so I get that, but I don't want to have regrets, and so that's another reason I'm doing this. And every day till I turn 39, and hopefully that by then I have it figured out a little bit better. And so that's the life portion of this podcast. And I know I'm kind of rambling, but I'm trying to piece it all together. And this is kind of how I am in life anyways, which is positive and negative for me, is I don't think through things before I say things most of the time, which tends to get me in a lot of trouble, but can also be funny a lot of the times. But, so I'll get there with this. And then sports, right? So the NBA season ended tonight. Timberwolves beat the Nuggets in overtime to get in. The Jazz lost to the Trailblazers, which helped propel Oklahoma City to the 4th seed. Russell Westbrook needed 16 rebounds tonight to average another triple-double for the season. First player in NBA history to ever do that. And back-to-back seasons at that. And so, incredible. What an incredible year. I know there's a lot of Russell Westbrook haters out there. But I've seen people saying, well, he's a stat chaser or whatever. The man's he's averaging over 10 assists a game. It's not like he's not passing the ball and not playing hard and not wanting to win. If that was the case, he'd be putting up 45 shots a game and getting 6 assists and 8 rebounds or something. I don't know. Those sound like really good stats, actually. But you get it. You know what I mean. And so I'm excited for the playoffs. I'm excited to see what the Thunder do. And it's going to be fun playoffs this year. I can't wait. I hope the Rockets lose, and I hope the Warriors lose, and I hope the Cavs lose. That sounded really bitter, but it's true. That is episode 8 of Release Rotation. Thanks for listening. Talk to you tomorrow.